Psalm 14. The fool has said in his heart, "There is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable deeds. There is no one who does good. Yahweh looked down from heaven on the children of men to see if there were any who understood, who sought after God. They have all gone aside. They have all together become corrupt. There is no one who does good. No, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Who eat up my people as they eat bread and don't call on Yahweh? There they were in great fear, for God is in the generation of the righteous. You frustrate the plan of the poor because Yahweh is his refuge. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion. When Yahweh restores the fortune of his people, then Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad. Psalm 14. What I wanted to talk about today, what really stuck out to me was verse 6. You frustrate the plan of the poor because Yahweh is his refuge. We're seeing those who are poor, who are impoverished, who are marginalized, who are just very simply down and out, struggling to make ends meet, struggling to make a quality life for them at the hands of some of their poor decisions, but also at the hands of a world that's not being built for them and not being built to help them. Right now, at the time of recording this, the U.S. government is still walking through the current healthcare situation and whether or not to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies and all that too. And as one who will be affected by whatever decision is made, the impact of all that hits heavier than I realized it would. And I'm one that normally just, whatever happens will happen. We'll deal with it as it comes and all that too. But that frustration is still built. And my frustration about that whole thing is only the tip of the iceberg for what others have felt during this administration and during the recent administrations. People have felt like they have been bullied, abused, neglected, terrorized, excluded from receiving the quality of life they deserve. And regardless of your opinion on whether or not they should, the world is not built on your opinion. The world is not built on your beliefs. And let me hold your hand when I say this. America is not a Christian nation. We are built on the religious freedoms for all. Now, if you want to instill Christian values through your work, that's one thing. But to force everybody to follow a Christian rhetoric is something completely different. We are not forced into a relationship with God. We are not forced into doing what he commands. We have the option. We have a choice. And when you take away that choice, you are using God's name in vain. You are misrepresenting what it means to be a child of God. And I know you might be thinking at the same time, but what I believe is right. It might be. However, when we start to look at the bigger picture, how we can do the best and the most for the greater good of all of humanity, we sometimes have to take ourselves out of the picture and allow ourselves to look at the grander idea of earth and seeing what is good for the community. We are to remove self out of the way. This is Christ's agape love, that self-sacrificial, selfless love, to say, how can I care for my neighbor the way Christ has cared for me all these years? It's a heavy question. This is a heavy psalm. And a lot of people are looking like David did in verse 3c, there is no one who does good, no, not one. Now, granted, media has inundated us with a lot of negativity, whether it's political, spiritual, mental. There's a lot of negativity that is being shown because obviously that's what we're attracted to. Positivity just doesn't have that big push that the shock value of negativity does. However, we must also recognize that there is good out there. We might have to find it, we might have to search for it, but we also need to celebrate it. I'm one that always says we can combat negativity with positivity, combat the negative with the positive, to create that balance. Unfortunately, that balance has been so skewed over the years into the negative side that that's all we are, and it's grown us as people into a more bitter, conceited, prideful, and egotistical person that focuses on the self over the good of the world. So what I want to call out to you, where I'll leave this, is how can you challenge that inner bitterness that you have with the frustrations of the world to go out and do good for your community, to not pour from an empty cup, but to refill yours with positive energy and then go reflect that energy out into the world. That's what I challenge you to do this week. Thank you so much for listening. I know probably a little bit of a new setup for you too, or at least the video quality might look a little better. I changed up a couple things. Tomorrow we'll have our day off, and then schedule. I'll be back on Tuesday with Curious About Christmas Part 10. Until then, stay blessed. Sorry, I'm getting to the end of the year, and my writing schedule versus the posting schedule are two different, or messed up in my head. So either way, I'll be back on Tuesday. Until then, stay blessed.